countries like Argentina, Venezuela. These companies are experiencing, or these countries are experiencing really hyperinflation with their currencies. Many people outside the United States of America are adopting cryptocurrencies at a much higher rate than we are here in the United States of America, simply because they're so concerned about their currencies and what's happening right now. So they're taking their money away, or they're putting their money in cryptocurrencies so they can better manage it. They're concerned that their countries, the adoptions that they've got right now with their currencies is just not working out well because of the fact that they're experiencing hyperinflation. So they're adopting it at a much higher rate than we are here in the United States. Many people don't understand how they're working. Many people don't understand distributed ledger technology. Many people don't even know how to open up an account. You know, how do you even open up an account? You know, how do you move your USD into an account? Many people don't know that you need more than one account to get started. You know, you need an on-ramp account to move your US dollars into either Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then you have to know how to send it to a crypto-to-crypto exchange account. They don't know which exchanges are available. How do you do these things? They don't know the mechanics of actually doing this. You know, it's not like opening up a trading account at Fidelity and sending them a check and then going online and starting to trade stocks. It's very, very different. Yes, absolutely, Ariel. We can help you with that. Actually, there's a video on our website. You go to cryptoportfoliobuilders.com, you scroll down a little bit on the first page there, and our very first webinar is on there. It gives you a better understanding about the mechanics of opening up an account. But that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. What companies do I look at? When do I decide to invest in these companies? You know, when do I dollar cost average into these companies? All of these things are detailed in our service that we offer our members. How much do we put into each one of the companies? Which companies do I even look at? How do I develop a diversified portfolio of cryptocurrencies? When do I take profits? These are all things that we do, having understood the market and having traded in cryptocurrencies for some time now. Our portfolio is developed based on the technical analysis that we do and also the fundamental analysis, having the best companies out there in the portfolio with the various technologies that they've got. So as you can see on my screen, you can see this is Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the on-ramp cryptocurrency exchanges. I use Coinbase as an on-ramp exchange, and what does on-ramp even mean? On-ramp means that this is an exchange where you can transfer from your bank account or your credit card or do a wire transfer of your dollars into an account or a wallet in this particular exchange, and then start to purchase a cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Obviously, those are the ones that most people know about. If they know anything about cryptocurrencies, it's usually Bitcoin because it's obviously been around. It's been around the longest, since 2009. So they know these cryptocurrencies. But Coinbase is one of a number that we have in the members area on the website that you can take a look at and decide which one you would like to use. But this is the one that I use. Coinbase is they're based in San Francisco. They're one of the largest out there. They give you FDIC insurance on the various wallets that you have. So, you know, those are the types of things you would want to, to take a look at when you're even starting the process of trying to understand how to start this journey. As I said before, it's not as easy as opening up a Fidelity trading account. Companies, yes, I mean cryptocurrencies when I'm talking about companies, Thomas, yes. I'm talking about cryptocurrencies, or really the better word would be distributed ledger technology companies. Cryptocurrencies is kind of a misnomer, but that's the term that most people use today when we're talking about these companies. Yeah, and Ariel, yes, you understand what I'm saying. Just go to the website and view. Anybody here that wants a more detailed explanation about how to actually open up the necessary accounts to even get started, go to the website, okay, cryptoportfoliobuilders.com, scroll down, and just take the time to look at that website or to look at that video that we've got there. That was our very first webinar that we did. We want to help you out as much as we possibly can to get started. Now, we've got members that have already gotten started. They've already established their on-ramp account. They've already established their crypto-to-crypto exchange account, and they are already invested in the portfolio. Okay, so don't worry if you haven't started yet. The market may not even be at a bottom yet, but it is a great time to get started and start building your cryptocurrency portfolio over time. Okay, so there is still time to get started. Which exchange would you recommend in Canada to open an account? Well, we don't recommend exchanges, Anjum. We don't recommend exchanges. We do have exchanges that are available out there. We've got a number of them on the website that you can take a look at. I can just tell you what I do, okay? I use Coinbase as an exchange this is an on-ramp exchange, to take my US dollars and convert them into cryptocurrencies. And I usually use Ethereum. I usually purchase Ethereum, and then you send that to an address on another crypto-to-crypto exchange, okay? I personally use Binance, and this is Binance. I'm going to bring up Binance on the screen, okay? So this is Binance. I'm on Binance's website right now. Hang on just a second. Let's go back here.
RL, the one that you just typed in, the cryptocompare.com, I don't know that that's actually, I'm familiar with the name. Scott, is that actually an exchange where you don't trade there?
I am not familiar with that, no.
Oh, yeah, okay. No. That's,
no.
In fact, let me just, real quick. Go ahead, keep talking, and then I'll.
Okay. So you guys can see on the screen there, I'm on Binance right now. This is their charting software that they've got on Binance. I'm just going to bring up, a company here. For instance, I'll bring up Neo. And as you can see to the right here, you can purchase Bitcoin from your on-ramp account, be it Coinbase or any other on-ramp account, and you transfer the Bitcoin over to your funds, which is up here. You can see fund balances, deposits, withdrawals. So it would be a deposit. You would go there and you would see your deposit in Bitcoin, and then from there you purchase any cryptocurrency that you want to purchase. But the question is, which one do I purchase, and how much of it do I purchase, and what type of portfolio do I need to have of cryptocurrencies that are going to be the ones that outperform the other cryptocurrencies available. We've done all the work for you. We have the cryptocurrency portfolio put together. We've given you all this on our website, cryptoportfoliobuilders.com. That's the service that we offer our members. So we're building a tremendous portfolio of cryptocurrencies, and I truly believe over the next 3 years you will have an abundance. Now, one question I get asked quite a bit is, how much should I invest in cryptocurrencies? Only you can answer that question. I think a rule of thumb would be 5% of your overall portfolio. Okay, I'm sure all of you have 401k plans, you have IRAs, you may have a stock trading account, you may have mutual funds out there, you may have bonds, you may have CDs, you've got money in money market, etc. You want to look to potentially take 5% of what you have and take that and expose it to something that's actually going to diversify your portfolio even more than it is right now. You're going to have broad diversification among these cryptocurrencies in the portfolio. So that's what I would look at potentially. Let's see. Ariel's got another question there.
Yeah, let me take this opportunity. Let's see. What do you got?
Yeah,
Thomas has a question too.
Thomas, that's a great question. For instance, Binance moved recently from one country to another country because of that. The country that they were in wanted to slap regulations on them. So if you own cryptocurrencies, you're outside of the realm of any country's control. Once you get on the distributed ledger with your cryptocurrencies, you're anonymous. And distributed ledger basically means that you're not on one server as you would be with a credit card. You're not on one server as you would be at your bank. Distributed, by its very nature, means that you're on many, many different servers with your cryptocurrencies. And you're able to conduct business anywhere in the world. You're able to purchase products anywhere in the world. That's why I believe, one of the reasons why I believe this is one of the most disruptive technologies of all time, even more than the internet. So, yeah, does that answer your question? Yeah, here again, as I said, Angela, we don't recommend exchanges. Just if you take a look on the video on the website, we talk about a few of the exchanges, and then you can go to them and check them out yourself.
Are you referring to the first class or the first webinar?
No, the first webinar, the one that's on the
homepage.
That's on the the website.
Gotcha.
Yeah, on the homepage. Yeah. Go to the homepage, cryptoportfoliobuilders.com, and scroll down. There's a video there. You can take a look at it. Okay. Now I can only tell you the ones that I use. I use Coinbase, which is one of the largest out there. It's based in San Francisco.
It's a behemoth. They just bought. Who did they buy?
Yeah, they're buying companies all over the place right now.
Yeah, there was a big one in the news this week, and we talked about it on the radio. You can Google it up, Coinbase acquisition. I think they paid $244 million for this company. But the numbers I'm going to give you in a second are going to just blow you. That's going to look like pocket change. So, in fact,
RL, again, the website is cryptoportfoliobuilders.com.
Yeah, I just sent that out to everybody. It's in the chat box.
Okay.
Now, I want to apologize to all of you because you probably came to this webinar based on an email that I had sent out that said the top 10 cryptocurrencies had done over $1.7 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. And I harped on about just the top 10 did $1.7 billion in the last 24 hours. I'm sorry. I was quoting only one exchange. Let me let that sink in for a minute. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the real numbers. And I don't know if you're ready for this. You might want to sit down. I'm teasing. Okay. The number one, Bitcoin, and it's not always number one every day. It is, the front runner. It's got all the, it's got its name up in lights kind of thing because it was the first to the party. And we were talking about it on CFRN radio when it was less than $1. And I took heat. But anyway, that's no need to go over that again. But we've all seen it go from under $1 to it hit almost 20. And on some exchanges, that's another good point, is you'll see different prices on different exchanges. So you may want to shop exchanges. That's something that'll be up to you. But let me just give you these numbers because I've been doing finance and futures and stocks for quite a number of years, but I've never spoke I've never used this kind of language on the radio before. Bitcoin in the last 24 hours, not just on the one exchange I was quoting, but across all the exchanges where you can buy and sell Bitcoin, the last 24 hours, US dollar volume, 4,699,430,000. Number two, Ethereum. In the last 24 hours, 2,011,430,000. Ripple did 249 million. Bitcoin Cash did 599 million. EOS did a little over $1 billion in the last 24 hours. Litecoin, now keep in mind, this is buying and selling. Okay, this is the total US dollar volume. Now, I'm going to give you I'm going to put the link in the chat box where I'm at. It's coinmarketcap.com. And I want, because I'm just some guy behind a microphone, you know, what do you know? Well, some of you know me pretty well. Okay, so you see that coinmarketcap.com. When you go there, you want to be on the, I think that is the homepage. Yes. Top 100 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. So you have the total market cap. So like Bitcoin, that's 140 billion. Yeah. And in the last 24 hours, we've had 4,703,600,000. Yeah. So if you go to, it's the homepage. It's the top 100 cryptocurrencies by market capitalization. Now there's a lot more than 100. These are just the top one, and it's going to take you some time to wrap. If this is new to you, well, it's new to all of us to a degree. But Cardano, in 24 hours, $58 million. Scott, are you able to go to that site as well? CoinMarketCap.com right now?
Yeah, sure.
In fact, if you wanted, you can drag it up on the screen, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to give you the screens?
No, you can do it.
Okay.
CoinMarketCap.com. And what this site does is it just goes out and gets the numbers and brings them back.
Got it. I got it up right now, Dwayne. You see it?
Okay, guys. You see that column where it says volume last 24 hours? If you click that, it will it'll shift it around and give you the lowest volume first. If you click it again, the way it shows up when you first go there. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that number, Scott, is 4,703,600,000.
Yep.
Guys, go take a look at some of the, on the New York Stock Exchange. Take a look at some of the volume there. Now, I know you got friends and neighbors who go, oh, did you ever hear of the tulips? This is so different than tulips. It's even addressing it as tulips die. They don't live forever. So with that said, go ahead, Scott. They know where to go now. They can look at these numbers. You guys can start to get excited, and you can start to get a glimpse at. Nobody ever sold that many tulips. I'm just going to say, and take it away, Scott.
Okay, great. Thanks, Dwayne. Hey guys, yeah, as I'm looking at this, I'm looking at a number of cryptocurrencies that we've got in our portfolio in the top 20 here. We don't have all of those, and that's the important thing for you to understand, is that you need to know these cryptocurrencies, the ones that have the technologies that are going to be sustained. As with the technology bubble back in 1999, and I was trading during that period of time, you have to understand which of these companies are going to have the staying power, which of these companies have the technologies that are going to last, which of these companies are the ones that have high adoption rates. That's one of the metrics that we look at when we're looking at a company. What is the adoption rate? Are they being adopted quickly? So these are all the things that we look at from the standpoint of analysis, fundamental analysis when we look at these companies. There are a lot of companies here, they're trading a lot of volume right now, but which ones will be around for the long term? And then not only that, when we look at these companies, these cryptocurrencies, how much of our portfolio should we have in each one of these cryptocurrencies? Should we have 2% in this particular company based on what we see? Should we have 5% in this particular cryptocurrency based on what we see? Should we have 7 or 8%? Should we overweight this particular cryptocurrency because of what we see in the company right now? Because these are the types of things that investors are looking at when they research a company. That's the fundamental analysis that they're doing when they research the company. They're also looking about where is it trading at right now? Is this a good point for us to go ahead and dollar cost average into this particular company? These are all the things that we help you understand to do, and that's what I do in the portfolio as I manage it. And obviously, I know you guys are probably busy. Many of you are working. So this is something that many people don't have the time to do. And those are the things that we do for you. And I tell you, it's something to go out and just purchase Bitcoin, okay? But I believe our portfolio has the opportunity to drastically outperform Bitcoin because, as you guys know, it's already moved. It was $20,000, almost $20,000 around that area, and now it's around 8,000. But it has had a huge move. It has moved. It's the first mover, and it's the one that we look at when we're looking at the technical analysis of the overall cryptocurrency market. As I said before, much like if you're looking at the S&P 500 in the stock market. Of course, the S&P 500 is the 500 largest companies in the United States of America. That's why they call it the market. When you're looking at some of the folks on TV. So those are the types of things that we provide to you in the portfolio. As I said before, to find out more about what we're doing, go to the website, cryptoportfoliobuilders.com. Take a look at the video. Take a look at the other free information that we've got there and decide, do you want to be a part of this? Do you want to add this to your overall portfolio with a portion of your assets so that you can have something that's outside of the realm of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds? And as all of you, I'm sure, know, if you do have 401k plans or if you have IRAs, the market is about as high as it's ever been. I don't know if you remember 2008, if you were investing during that period of time. In 18 months, the S&P 500 went down 50%. It took it about 6 or 7 years to recover. Okay, so it is very high right now. So that's something I would think about if I were you. Just take a look. Decide if this is something that you think is right for you. As I said before, I believe that we will have an abundance in a very few short years based on a small amount of investment into these cryptocurrency portfolios. As I said, I put my money where my mouth is, and I truly believe that. No, I mean, Mark, when you ask a question like that, yeah, I can hear you, Dwayne. Mark, no, I don't, because really, when you're working with cryptocurrencies, they are not inside the confines of any one country. Once you invest in cryptocurrencies, you're on the distributed ledger, and the distributed ledger is something that's out of the reach of governments. Your money is out of the reach of governments. You don't own a currency anymore. This is not a government-controlled currency. All the governments around the world, what do they do when they get in trouble? They print money. They print money to cover over the mistakes that they've made from the standpoint of spending too much of our money. So you can't do that with cryptocurrencies. You can't just print money out of thin air. It's not possible to do that. As I said before, going back to the scenario I told you about a few minutes ago, with folks that are in other countries like Argentina and Venezuela, Iran is another one, and there are many of them out there, third world countries. Those folks are adopting cryptocurrencies at a much higher rate than we are here in the United States because we haven't had those problems here with hyperinflation. It is going on quite dramatically outside the United States of America, though, okay? Think about this for a minute. Only about 1 in 10,000 people in the United States have anything to do with cryptocurrencies. And most of those people, they may have some Bitcoin, or they may have some Bitcoin and some Ethereum. They don't understand that there are many other cryptocurrency companies out there available that are doing things in a niche market that have the potential to grow tremendously over the next few years. Not only that, we're in a correction in the market right now, which puts us in a place where that we can springboard off of that in the future. Now, we're about 8,000 right now, as I said before, on Bitcoin, and it could build a base there, or it could go lower. But I do believe the bottom is somewhere in the middle of the 6,000 area. And if it gets there, then it's a tremendous time to start continue to invest in these cryptocurrencies. But we're very prudent in the portfolio. We're not invested very much at all in the portfolio right now, and we're dollar cost averaging down pretty much on a weekly basis right now, with a small amount each time that we do that. We've got some members that are here tonight. I appreciate you guys coming out. So they already have the opportunity, and they're taking advantage of the portfolio. Okay, so putting money on the line and the government take it with cryptocurrency and stop the cold. It's not, in my way of thinking and everything that I've seen, Gershon, obviously the governments can do what they want to do, but they at this point, they don't know what to do. This is an event that they don't know how to handle. And as I said before, this is not in any one country. Once you have cryptocurrencies on the distributed ledger, you're anonymous. Okay? Well, I mean, that's Mark, if you don't trust the government, I mean, what are they doing with stocks and bonds and mutual funds? I mean, those things have been out there for a long period of time. They're pretty transparent. You can still invest in those. I mean, stocks have been around forever. Mutual funds have been around forever. Bonds have been around forever. I mean, this is what I work with. So, I mean, are those regulated to the point where you think that you can't make money in them? I mean, I make money in them every day. Futures. Dwayne's been in the futures market for, 15 or 20 years. You can make a lot of money in the futures market. They're regulated, but you can still make money in them.
Well, I've been in the futures market since 2005. I've been in equities since 98, 99, right in there.
I mean, nobody's going to be able to stop you from being successful. I mean, some regulations are good.
See, let me address Mark's question there. I don't trust our government to not get their paws into it. Okay. You see, there's not a building, there's not a server, there's not a boss. They can pass laws, they can regulate, but what they understand is ultimately it is not within their power to control it. And so I think at the end of the day, the shakeout's going to be, and we're starting to see it in other countries, they're coming out with their own cryptocurrency. Now, the whole kind of point of cryptocurrency is the decentralization. Thomas Jefferson warned us back in the day. He said, whatever you do, this is when our country was being formed. He said, whatever you do, please don't make the mistake of ever allowing a central bank to come into being. That's what we now call the Federal Reserve, which, by the way, has absolutely nothing to do with the government.
Right.
There's an article I wrote. It's on Seeking Alpha. If you Google, can crypto heal our broken land, it'll come up. And if you throw Seeking Alpha, it'll come up, right away to the top. I talk about the Fed there. Okay, the Fed. This recent financial crisis was the perfect smokescreen for the Fed to create more money out of thin air, which your children, your grandchildren, and your grandchildren's grandchildren will never be able to pay all of that money back, although they will have their money in their pocket, tax-wise, trying to pay it back. You can't even keep up with the interest. It's absolutely insane. And so what cryptocurrency is, it's decentralized. There's no central bank. There is no Fed that can just start printing money. Nor can the Fed shut it down. And again, the Fed has nothing. It's a private corporation. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with that, if you always thought the Fed was like part of the federal government, just do a little Googling, watch some of the videos, read the book. What was the Jekyll Island book? It was written a long time ago. The Train to Jekyll Island. Goldman Sachs announced last week they're coming out with their own cryptocurrency. It is called the USD coin. Their cryptocurrency is going to mirror shadow the US dollar. If you haven't read, Goldman Sachs, when they say the market's going to correct 10%, and I'm not talking about cryptos, I'm just talking about the market. If they say the economy is going to contract 2%, it usually does. Goldman Sachs, with the exception of this past year, and I think they did it on purpose, but you can go back, you can Google this up. This is a fact, not some conspiracy theory. On an average year, the Goldman Sachs trading desk at large has less than 5 unprofitable trading days. I mean, at the end of the day, when all the cash is counted in the drawer. Now, I'm going to ask you as a trader, have you ever had even 1 year where you only had 5 or fewer unprofitable days? Now, you got to understand the circle of greed and how it works. First, you're at Goldman Sachs. Then you might go to work for the Federal Reserve, or they might put you in Congress. Now, of course, your office is going to be waiting for you when you're done in Congress, or when you're done at the Federal Reserve, or at the Treasury, U.S. Treasury. Now, that's a whole nother issue, the problem we have with the financial system in America, and it exists in other countries as well. That's another reason cryptocurrency is going to become so important, and I think you'll better understand that as you read that article I wrote. It's an op-ed piece. Can crypto heal a broken land? Seeking Alpha. It's a couple other places too, but the best version of it, because I rewrote it like 3 times, it's on Medium too. I think I might have even put it on the CFRN website. But I want to share this with you guys. Let me find it here. Okie doke. Now this article came out in Fortune yesterday. Yesterday, the more than $365 billion invested in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies is owned almost entirely by individual investors, not by Wall Street institutions. Now, who owns the majority of U.S. stocks and bonds? Institutions, not retail traders. With cryptocurrency, tails wagging the dog here, it would seem. But that's about to change. Coinbase, who we just spoke about, the largest U.S. Bitcoin exchange, launched new professional-grade trading products for institutional investors this week, citing rising demand for cryptocurrency from smart money heavyweights. How we've seen it play out in the institutional space, very few want to be first, but most want to be second. Now, that was from Adam White, who's Coinbase's general manager and who runs the institutional business, including the GDAX exchange. Coinbase's announcement follows moves by major Wall Street banks earlier this month towards entering the cryptocurrency market. Goldman Sachs revealed in early May that it is opening a Bitcoin trading desk, and JP Chase said this week that the bank is looking into the space. Now, this is the same Jamie Dimon that stood on the street, held a press conference, and called Bitcoin a fraud. Now, this is a proven fact, not a conspiracy. As he was speaking, the price of Bitcoin dropped. He went on to say that if anyone in his employ ever traded Bitcoin, he would fire them for stupidity. His whole trading desk was buying the dip he created in Bitcoin with those words, Bitcoin is a fraud. Jamie Dimon and his bank, they have paid more money in fines than every other financial institution, all of them put together throughout history. Nobody's paid as much as Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan Chase. He's the kind of guy, he says, you know what, if I ask permission, I might get told no. But if I just go ahead and do it and they don't like it, I'll have made so much money that whatever they fine me, that's not a problem. He cuts multi-million-dollar checks to the government all the time. That's just a cost of doing business for him. So the guy that
Absolutely.
stood on the street and said, it's a fraud, he said that so that he could get, it's, all right. In a couple of years, we're going to look at Goldman Sachs' announcement that they're going to begin trading cryptocurrency as very much a watershed moment. Now, I'm quoting Fortune magazine here. Fortune's weekly show, Balancing the Ledger, is about the intersection of finance and technology. You'll hear it referred to as fintech. Wall Street's hesitation to invest in cryptocurrency is rooted in concerns over scams that have plagued the industry and in fears about security. Now, let me just tell you, if you haven't bought any cryptocurrency yet, security is an issue. Steve Wozniak got hacked for some of his Bitcoin. Now, when Steve Wozniak gets hacked, boy, that ought to get your attention. However, there are things you can use, like MetaMask, and keeping your crypto offline, on a Nano S. That's what I use, hardware wallet. It's a bit like a thumb drive, but it keeps your crypto safe. Many of the world's most popular Bitcoin exchanges have also been hacked, including the infamous Mt. Gox, from which a record-setting 650,000 Bitcoins worth more than $5 billion at today's prices were stolen and remain missing. Even Coinbase, whose own systems have never been breached, has been targeted by thieves who have hacked and drained scores of its customer accounts, including those of prominent investors. Can you say Wozniak? That's why Coinbase is rolling out a custody service to securely hold cryptocurrency. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, guys, Dwayne just took a little time there. Let's see what questions we got here. Todd had a question. Let me go back up here. Hang on just a minute. Yeah, Todd, when you look at Binance and you see Ripple there, that expression, that number 0.00008192, that is the price in Bitcoin. That's the price of Ripple, symbol XRP, in Bitcoin. Okay, and next to that, you're right, 67 cents is where it's trading at in dollars. Okay, does that make sense? Did that answer your question? So Todd had a question. He's looking at the Binance website right now, and he brought up Ripple XRP symbol.
Right.
And Todd had a question. He saw Ripple trading on Binance, and he was wondering what it says. Last price, and it's 0.00008188. And all I was saying to him, Dwayne, is that's how much it is in Bitcoin.
Yes.
That's correct. How much it is in Bitcoin. It's trading at 67 cents a share in dollars.
Yeah, okay. There are a number of websites that have converters, so you can convert from ETH to USD. In fact, there's one of our websites. I just gave you guys some of our websites, some of our web properties, but I'm going to have a calculator, a conversion calculator on each of the sites. We're running so fast to try to get everything in place. And the reason for so many different web properties is because that is the business model behind CT Global Media. So far, almost everything we've done, or everything we've done to this point, has been in the financial services sector. But we're moving out, we're not moving out, but we're diversifying our content. As some of you have heard of TED Talks, TED.org. Those of you who have heard of it are like, who hasn't heard of that? You'd be surprised. Yep. Most people haven't heard of it. But anyway, we own TED Talks God. That's going to be one of our properties. That will be where clients can advertise their businesses, their services, their messages. CT Global Media is a Christian advertising company. Okay.
I'll be right back, Dwayne.
Okay. Clients will be able to advertise across our diversified platform of sites. We're moving into just every sector, subsector, from social to lifestyle to you name it, cars. But anyway, coming online will be the first one to come of these will be TED Talks God. And if you don't know what a TED Talk is, after this webinar, you can go to TED.org, I think it is. That doesn't work. Go to TED.com. It's probably TED.com. And just listen to a couple of these talks that these people have given. They're smart as a whip, very intellectual, and they will open your mind to so many concepts and ideas that you're like, whoa. I would tell you my one favorite one, but it'll take too long. So what we're doing is we're inviting people who have done a TED Talk. In other words, they're vetted. I mean, if they could get on stage and do a TED Talk, they've got something going on. And so those people are going to be invited to come to TEDTalksGod.com, and they'll be given 30 minutes to tell you what they believe about God, a supreme being, the divine architect, for or against. Whoa, dude, wait a minute. Aren't you a Christian website? I am. And I believe at the end of the day, as these intellectual heavyweights battle it out, and it's not a debate style thing, although we could at some point do that, but each person will be able to come on and tell their system of what they believe and why. Okay? It's going to make some for incredibly interesting radio. I'm very excited about this because these go to TED.com, TED.org. Go there, listen to a couple of TED Talks. In fact, search on their site for the one about charitable or nonprofit CEOs. That'll spin your top. That's the one that changed my entire way of thinking because I am the CEO of a nonprofit. And I always took great pride in the fact that I didn't take a salary. And I used to chide those nonprofits who paid guys like, $5 million a year and let them come to work in a limousine. Well, that was a horrific waste of money. Now, on a good year, Dwayne might raise 100,000, but that guy in a limo, he's raising 100 million. Now I just spoiled it for you. But it was so compelling that it changed my whole way of thinking. It didn't change the way I ran my own organization because at this point, we don't have the women's abuse shelter anymore or the men's home or any of the, we've still got the mission in Mexico, but our main focus is on New Hope Orphanage and Aggie's baby home in Kampala. So that's coming. Okay. So we're going to get all this attention, right? People will be able to advertise. Now, people can pay for their advertising with the CTG token. In doing so, they get a 50% discount off the listed advertising rates. There are 2.4 billion Christians worldwide. In the U.S., there's 150 million. There was a survey done that said 2/3 of Americans do not consume Christian media on radio, TV, or even the internet. It was sort of a bummer article. But in that article, I said, well, wait a minute. What about the 1/3 that do? I did the math. That's 150 million Americans who do consume Christian content. And we're providing them not only with the content, we're providing advertising space for those businesses and organizations that need to tell the story of their product, their service, or even their message. It's literally faith-based marketing is a relatively new concept, and we are right out in front with it. And so that's the business model behind CT Global Media. And the CTG token, now you might be thinking, well, gosh, I don't need to do any advertising on radio or the internet or even TV. So here's the good news. It's also a storehouse of value token. See, Bitcoin is only a storehouse of value. CTG, like many other altcoins, is a storehouse of value as well as a utility token. Now, we only minted 1 million tokens for a reason. I hate dilution. I've been in stocks before that got diluted, and boy, that dilution, it just, a lot of these cryptos, if you take a look under the hood, they've got, it's Carl Sagan territory. 10 billion tokens, 30 billion, 100 billion tokens. Okay, well, we went the other way. Now, so that's kind of like Berkshire Hathaway. Since Warren took over, late 60s, early 70s, he has not split the stock once. He has not diluted it any whatsoever. And today, a share costs you over $300,000. Not saying that we're going to 300,000. I'm just saying non-dilution, I think, is a pretty good idea in this diluted, crazy world in which we live.
Sure.
But we also have the fractional ownership model that Bitcoin has. So in other words, let's say someday that a CTG token has a trading value of $1,000, but you only have 150 bucks. Well, you can buy 150 bucks worth of CTG. Bitcoin right now is over 8,000, but if you got 150 bucks, you can buy 20 bucks of Bitcoin. So it lowers the barrier to entry for everyone, but maintains its integrity by not diluting. Now, back to the Coinbase story, because I want to make sure that Scott heard the rest of this. That's why Coinbase is rolling out a custody service to securely hold cryptocurrency on behalf of big investors. This is a minimum deposit of 10 million. Guys like me and you, we still got to offload onto a hardware wallet to be 100% safe, because once you put it on your hardware wallet, you disconnect that hardware wallet from your computer and you go put it in the safe behind the picture or wherever it is you hide stuff, under the mattress. See, hackers can't get under your mattress.
Absolutely.
Now, Coinbase currently stores more than $20 billion in digital currency, most of which belongs to retail investors. But the company expects that amount could jump 50% once the custody product goes live. By our best estimates, there's at least $10 billion in institutional capital that's waiting on the sidelines just to move in for a safe custodianship product just for cryptocurrency alone. That money is likely to come from hedge funds and banks initially, but pension plans, sovereign wealth funds could eventually follow. The creation of premium cryptocurrency investment services, such as CryptoPortfolioBuilders.com, is going to unlock tens of billions of dollars of institutional capital. But while Coinbase's business, valued at $1.6 billion during its most recent fundraising round, currently revolves around the financial industry, it ultimately aims to be much more than a bank or fintech company. Very simply said, from one of their insiders, we want to be the Google of crypto. Although he claims to be agnostic about the Bitcoin price and how the influx of Wall Street money could boost the market, Coinbase is betting on cryptocurrency's long-term potential. If you're in the space and you have a 20 or 30-year vision to really look at what a foundational technology like Bitcoin or Ethereum will provide, you know, it's one thing to make enough money from your investments to live a great life and to be able to give back and make the world a better place. I think we would all want to do that. But we're talking about an economy, not man's economy, but I really believe God's economy,
Yeah.
where you
Right.
get, what do you get, 10, 100-fold? I'm sure you've all read that. See, I want to not only have money to spend and money to give away. Nothing. I remember when we first built the mission down in Mexico. I'd go down there on the weekend with a pocket full of $100 bills by the grace of God. You know, he said, "You're steward over this." So I would go down there and I would visit different churches and other works going on. And man, giving those $100 bills away to a person I knew I'd never see them again. There was no way they could ever repay me. But I had just sponsored somebody into that drug rehab, for a month, or I had paid for all the food for the day, and I wanted no thanks for it. All the thanks goes to God. Oh, brother, thank you. No, thank God, because God sent me here today, and God put that $100 bill in my pocket. So you tell whoever's going to benefit from it who it really came from. Don't be putting my name in it, okay? Man, that
Yeah.
was really my first taste of what it was like to literally be able to be God's hands and feet upon the earth and change the world and help make it a
That's
better
great.
place. And
That's great.
I want that for everybody that I know.
Yep.
I want them to
Yep.
experience that. You
Yep.
know, I work too hard for my money. I'm not giving it away. Oh, I'm so
Mm.
sorry you feel that way, because your life
Yep.
could be so much richer. And I don't mean
Amen.
that in a
That's right.
monetary sense.
Right.
So all this institutional money sitting on the sidelines. Now, when the Bitcoin futures contract came out, everybody says, "Oh, that's going to be it." When the CME gives their stamp of approval, bang, we're going to the moon. Didn't happen. Volume is starting to pick up in that contract. Volume is higher on the CBOE futures contract, but they're rolling out, I think they rolled it out Friday, an Ethereum contract. Now, for those that don't know the difference, Bitcoin, storehouse of value. Ethereum, a whole different animal. Storehouse of value, but also the ability to create smart contracts. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. You can become a member. We'll teach you all about it. It's entirely up to you. But all that sideline money is getting ready to come in. Do you want to chase that money, or do you want to be ahead of that money? I can't guarantee you what the outcome will be. I can't tell you that if you get involved with cryptocurrency or cryptoportfoliobuilders.com or CTG, that you're going to get rich. I mean, that would be wrong, because I'm not a prophet, and God did not give me the ability to see into the future. But he did give me a brain to think with and to, kind of see the writing on the wall. So, we have to do all of our disclaimers and all of that, never make any investment decision without first checking with a licensed investment professional. You guys know that. You've read this disclaimers, and I think they're good. The government requires them, but even if they didn't, I would put that type of thing on everything I touched, because I don't want anybody to ever be blindsided. And Scott talked about this, I think, in the first webinar. If it's money you cannot afford to lose, you shouldn't put it in, right, Scott? How did you say it?
Absolutely. It should be money that you're willing to put at risk. This should be money that you're willing to put at risk. I see a couple questions here, Dwayne.
Shoot.
Todd, no, the CT Global coin is not listed on Binance. Dwayne might want to talk a little bit about that.
Yes, we have just made it on to we finished our pre-sale, which went well. Our pre-sale went off at $1 a token, and we gave some bonuses. There were 3 stages. Then after we completed the pre-sale, I had to jump through all kinds of hoops, and I'm having to learn which hoop to jump through. See, it's not like there's a book or a manual somewhere. But anyway, we're listed on Fork Delta right now. If you go to Fork Delta, you go to github.forkdelta.io. I think you can get there by going to forkdelta.com. But anyhow, when you get there, just Google Fork Delta Exchange. Click that link. By the way, that's a safe way of making sure you don't go to a phony phishing site. If you want to go to a website, Google it, and then click on the Google results, because they keep it clean. So just a little tip. So Google Fork Delta. Go there. You'll see the little padlock up in the left-hand corner. Go to the drop-down list. Find CTG in the list. Click it. And that will show you, now we don't have a lot of volume right now. I mean, we just got onto the exchange, but what has happened since we got onto the exchange, we've gone from the dollar we were trading at during the pre-sale. The last trade, I think, went off when you convert it at $4.85 US.
It's a pretty good move.
It was 385%, I think. But you get the idea.
Yep.
Now,
full disclosure, guys, I own CT Global Coin too.
And I'm the developer of CT Global Coin. Now, you might ask, well, for those of you that are already members of Crypto Portfolio Builders, you might say, how come CTG's not in the official CPB portfolio? It's because I felt that might be a conflict of interest. And those of you that have followed me for any length of time, whether it's on the radio or however else, I want to be as transparent as possible. So it is going to go on the CPB website, and there will be a lengthy disclaimer, that Scott owns it and that I was the developer, the architect of it. But we're not putting it in the official portfolio just for the reason I said, conflict of interest. What a great way to pump our own cryptocurrency, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make people aware of it and let them go do their own due diligence.
Sure.
So that's the answer. Now, what they really look at is volume, okay? Like we saw the top 10, the top 100. I mean, we're just now hitting the market, literally. And so I have a couple of, things in the works to draw global attention and to draw in global investors. And I'm really setting my sights on some of this institutional money. There are 2.4 billion self-professed Christians worldwide. 2.4 billion. Now, if each one of them wanted to own one CTG token, we only got 1 million. If, I don't have my little chart in front of me, but it's on the blog. If 10% wanted one, I forget the numbers now, and then if 1%, then it finally comes down to if half of 1% wanted, if 1/2 of Christians worldwide wanted a CTG token, that's 12 million tokens. But we only got 1 million. Thank God for fractional ownership, because nobody will ever be turned away because they only have $20. Nor will they be turned away because they got 20 million. Follow me? And I'm going to leave the pitch for CTG at that. If you want to contact me off here, come to the radio show every day. We talk about these kinds of things. Just become a part of the CFRN and Christian Traders community. We got blogs, we got forums, we got chat rooms. We have a lot of resources that aren't even being utilized yet because people don't even know we're here. I mean, our core following were very supportive during the pre-sale. Pre-sale tokens are restricted. The token I'll give away tonight has a restriction. You won't be able to sell it today. And I'll let you know when I send you your certificate and when I transfer the tokens into your wallet. It's not a big restriction, but it's not uncommon that when it's kind of like when Facebook hired all their employees and they get all these stock options and they can exercise them or not. So, but you're going to have your tokens. You just can't rush out and sell them tomorrow, because until we start to ramp up volume, okay, and I'm going on a global awareness rampage, if you will. I've got a couple of connections in the institutional world, and one institution could take a look, and the fact that we only have 1 million tokens, and we have this superb business model standing behind it, one institution could nod their head and just say, grab whatever's available. Grab whatever's available.
That's right.
Do you know what that would do? I mean, now it's not even up to me to, the institutions will take care of telling the world, right? Pretty soon people are tithing in CTG. At some point in time, we're able to get on a debit card. At some point in time, our goal will be, of course, to get on the more senior exchanges. It's just like building a stock from the ground up, a company. I mean, we're on the ground floor. I know that's just a really worn out, phrase. Get in on the ground floor. But this really is kind of the ground floor. I don't even think the floor has been built yet. We're still standing on dirt.
That's right.
We're on dirt right now. We're going to build it.
That's right.
We're going to build one.
That's right.
All right, guys. Yep. We don't want to keep you. Yeah, it's Fork. F-O-R-K. Delta.
Yeah. A couple questions too, Dwayne.
Delta. Yeah, what else?
Yeah, Mark, you're talking about money going through these cryptos. Are you talking about people or just buying and selling the coins? We're talking about daily volume. We're talking about the average daily volume on these coins, Mark. That's how much money is being put in these coins as far from the standpoint of buying and selling them. So we're talking about daily volume, okay? We answered that question about CT. CT is not listed on Binance. It's on Fork Delta.
Yeah, let me answer RL. What problem does your coin solve? Okay, that's one of the things you'll hear. We passed the Howey test. Okay, but what problem does your coin solve? Okay, it allows individuals, businesses, organizations, governments, anyone that has a need to advertise, and they want to speak specifically to the 2.4 billion Christians worldwide. Now, we've built out the CT Global Media Network, and so far we've only reached out to the financial sector. We've been doing that for years, radio, internet, etc. Now, if you own CTG and you happen to be a business or an organization or a church and you want to buy advertising space on the radio or on any of our web properties, or you want to spread it across all of our web properties, TED Talks God, for instance, if you pay in CTG, you get a 50% discount off the listed advertising package prices. That's pretty good, a 50% discount off listed prices. Not everybody needs to buy advertising on the internet or radio. And so for those individuals, it simply becomes an investment, a storehouse of value. And your investment is in all those people out there that do need to advertise. And in the statistics I spoke to earlier, there are not a lot of ways to speak to a primarily Christian-based audience. CFRN has been doing it in the financial sector since 2005. Christian Traders has been doing it in the financial sector since 2001. You'll find us on Twitter and on Facebook and on our blog and just kind of all over the internet, Seeking Alpha. We were given, Scott, you got anything else you're going to show? I know we're going to need to wrap this thing up here pretty quick. Let me take the screen for a second.
Yeah, go ahead, Dwayne. Just a couple questions here.
Go ahead.
I can answer while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Ted, you have a question about the correlation between stock indexes and cryptocurrencies. Just completely different asset classes. Completely different asset classes. So, no. Well, yeah, RL's got a question there, Dwayne, when you get a second.
Let me get the screen up.
Okay. Ted's
come up. Boom. There it is. Okay. Ted, any comments in regards to the recent negative CNBC interview with Buffett? Yeah, he never gets everything right. He'll be the first to tell you that. Gates is as bullish as you can possibly get. In fact, when you go to christiantraders.com, about 10 seconds into the website, you'll hear some piano music, and then you'll hear voices. Scroll to the bottom of the page. See who these people are that are talking. Now, and then listen to the numbers. Listen to what the guy says. He goes, now here's what's going to happen when Bitcoin hits $1,000. And here's what's going to happen when it hits $5,000. These comments were made before the train really got, headed down the track. Back to your question, as an asset class, you're not producing anything and you shouldn't expect it to go up. It's kind of a pure greater fool theory type of investment. No, Bill Gates did not say that on CNBC Squawk Box. Bill Gates is incredibly bullish on blockchain technology. So I'm not sure, Ted, unless Bill Gates, the Bill Gates on our website, who talks about how difficult it is for a man like himself to move large sums of money around the world to do the things he wants to do. Now he can do it with the click of a mouse. He doesn't need a third party. He doesn't need a bank to verify it, or uh, a federal or government agent to give him a proctology exam, to see why he's sending this money and who's he sending it to. I mean, those are words out of Bill Gates' mouth. I will go look for that CNBC interview because I know you wouldn't tell me something that you didn't hear with your own ears or believe was said. So I need to go and investigate what exactly it was he said. And whatever he said, I'll put it up on the website to show whatever change of mind he's had. I'm very interested to hear that because I haven't heard it. What do you think about Bitcoin mining? Is it profitable to invest in? Raj, I don't think so. I mean, apparently it is because so many people are rushing to do it, but there's only so many coins left to be mined. Now, I think it's going to take 40 years. No, it's going to take quite a few years because each coin that's mined, the mathematical problem that has to be solved to mine the next coin, it gets more complex each time. And so in the beginning, it was cheap and fast to mine Bitcoin. But the further you go towards the total number that they're allowing, and I forget what that number is. Do you remember, Scott? You can Google it. It's all public information. Just to get a rig, get it up and going, Google that question, and you'll find that if you're one guy with one mining rig, which is just a computer that's configured specifically for that purpose, after you pay for your electricity and whatnot, you can make maybe a couple $100 a month. The only way to make real money as a miner is to do something like, in Japan, it's huge. Companies are moving to Iceland so they can open the doors and windows and not have to pay so much electricity to keep the computers cool. John McAfee Antivirus, he has the largest Bitcoin mining farm in the U.S. He's incredibly bullish. Tom Lee of Fundstrat thinks Bitcoin will be at $25,000 by the end of this year. He's very well respected on Wall Street. So, I go over the crypto news every day on the radio show, and for every unbelievable positive article that I read, then there's another one to cast doubt. And every time I read one of those, I think about Jamie Dimon standing out on the street saying Bitcoin's a fraud. I think it was Thursday I read on the radio in Seminole, Florida, you can now pay for your driver's license, your property taxes, your state taxes, something else. Oh, your utilities like sewer, trash, water, with cryptocurrency. And that's happening daily. Cities. Arizona is one of the most crypto-friendly states in the union. I'm assuming at some point that will work to my benefit. We've already passed two laws, and I can't quote them to you, but it's just kind of letting the world know that what Switzerland is to crypto and the world, and they say that's moving to the Bermuda Triangle. Well, I don't want to see my money disappear. So maybe Arizona becomes to the U.S. what Switzerland has been to the world. I don't know. Now, let's see. Oh, Raj says it's 27 million. That's the maximum number. Raj, did that article tell you how long, what they think the amount of time will be between now and when the last coin gets mined? And see, my question is these people who bought all this equipment, right now we have over 22 million. 27 million is the cap, but it's going to take like another 20 years to get there. Can people use CT Coin to pay for anything or only investing? We're just like all the other altcoins. Right now, you can pay for services at CT Global Media. In time, there will be greater adoption. We're working on a number of things like getting CTG onto our own, what do they call those? We call it personalized license plate. Is it an affinity license plate? What's it called? Anyway, we'll have our own debit cards, which any place that Visa and MasterCard is accepted. But that's long range planning. I'm talking way out into the future. We've come a long way. We have a long way to go. So the future is bright. Can you go somewhere right now and pay for your dinner with CTG? No, you cannot. Nor can you with any of the other altcoins. In fact, if I go back to, let's see, EOS did $1 billion in volume in the last 24 hours. And I don't know of any place that, any like retail establishment that you could walk into and spend EOS. So we're not unique in that fact. The Huobi token, let's see what that thing did. In the last 24 hours, they did 221 million in volume at $4.82 per token, and average price. But to my knowledge, there's no place that you can walk in. See, that's what's coming. The mass adoption by merchants and businesses who will all begin to accept all coins, and valuations will be placed accordingly. So it takes patience. It's not a get-rich-quick overnight kind of thing. And I know people are attracted to it for that very reason. And now that I have the chart, which I had forgotten for a minute, I was going to show you something other than this. What were we talking about when I took the chart? I wanted to point something out. But I'll show you this right now. Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Now, let me get my drop-down list. Bitcoin futures, Bitcoin group. Here's the US dollar against the euro, against the pound. Shorts, longs. I mean, a lot of ways to go here, okay? Now, up here, this BTC USD, I'm pulling in from Coinbase. But if I go down here to BTC USD, I'm pulling in from Bitfinex. Okay, here's Bitstamp. Here's Bittrex. Can anybody say Wild Wild West? So, back to the BTC USD. All right. That's some old notes, which is held true, but I'll just get them out of the way. Okay, we're pulling this from Coinbase, BTC USD, and I've got it set on monthly. Well, that looks pretty good. I mean, anybody that understands how markets work, leg, retrace. But you'll notice that on the monthly chart, we never had a bearish cross. Now, those of you that follow CFRN, you know what a bearish cross is. On the monthly S&P 500 chart, we've not had a bearish cross since before 2013. That's incredibly bullish when you don't have a bearish cross. So on the monthly, now let's drop down to the weekly. On the weekly, we have had a bearish cross. Okay. Now, those who follow us know, well, right here we were bullish here. Anytime the CFMA1 is above the BBC, and what I've done here is I've compiled the slingshot into the BBC. We always revert to the mean, back to the mean, and then the big run that got everybody so excited. Okay. Then we pulled back. We attempted to bounce. We got a bearish cross. After the bearish cross, what do we expect? We expect price to pull back to the BBC, which it did. And then on the down close, this is a weekly, right? We would look to sell. However, because my CFMA1 is blue and climbing, not too anxious to sell right there. Now let's roll it down to a day. This is a daily chart. Bullish cross, nice run up. A bearish cross, and the question now is this support level right here. This is what we're looking for to hold. Many are saying we could run down and touch $6 grand. I don't I don't know that it's going to happen. This market trades 24/7. We're okay. We had a bullish cross, price pulled away, price pulled back, price pulled back. This is just textbook stuff. And now we're right here, okay? This whole area of consolidation. One of two things will happen, okay? We'll get a close. My CFMA1 will turn blue, and we'll have leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg, retrace, leg. Now, on that leg, we will expect to put in a higher high. If we don't put in a higher high, not a concern, just means price is going to revert back to the mean. You expend energy, you work all day, 8 hours, and you rest. You expend energy and you rest. You expend energy and you rest. That's how markets work. Now, break it down to 30 minutes. Where are we at? Got that bearish cross. Now, look what happens when I go to 5 minute. You see, the smaller time frame is always where you're going to find the first indication that price may be potentially turning. However, it is where you can get false starts as well. So right here, we had a bullish cross, and then price pulled back, and we got a down close. I'm not interested in going long right there. Now, this is if I was trading intraday. But I got to tell you that intraday trading, day trading, swing trading, which is what we do, which we became famous for, that is a lot of work, a lot of stress. You got to really know what you're doing, or you're going to lose all your money. 90% of those who attempt to become day traders and swing traders fail because they do not have anyone to educate them, to teach them, to mentor them. We do one-on-one personal mentoring, okay? And 90% blow up their account, go find something else that they want to try and do. 10% who do make it do it very well, but you don't just waltz in and start doing it. I mean, it looks like you can, and that's one of the issues with futures. Not so much stocks, because with stocks you got to maintain a $25,000 account balance to be a pattern day trader. And I don't mean patterns like Head and Shoulders, right? That's a government IRS thing. You know, you've shown a pattern of being a day trader. If you do more than 3 round-trip trades in a week, they label you, and you got to maintain 25,000. That's not true in futures, and the leverage you get in futures is unbelievable. I can buy $140,000 of S&P 500 best of breed equity for $500. Now, I'm not here to pitch futures, although as futures become more widely adopted, we will be talking about them. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what this looks like on a chart with the indicators. But see, we won't be looking too much at 5 minutes. We're going to be, on the daily, the weekly, and we'll break down the technicals for you on each and every one of these different positions so that you are never blindsided. You know what to expect. This pullback that we had in Bitcoin in our very first class, we said, guys, get ready. We're most likely going to have a pullback in Bitcoin. And we did. Are we setting ourselves up for a rally? I think so. Okay. But if you follow us, if you follow my nightly trade alerts or anything else, I don't prophesy. It's an either or world. When I break down a chart, like I do on the show every day, okay, we're either going to do this or we're going to do this. And the guys that tell you they know, well, keep your hand on your wallet, all right? Because they don't. There's no way. There's too many moving parts. God didn't create us that way to know the future. So my whole trading strategy is once I get a firm grasp on the chart, not the candles, but the people behind the candles, and what their mindset is. Where are my buyers? Where are my sellers? Where's my window of opportunity? Okay, fine. So I don't tell you it's going to go up tomorrow, it's going to go down tomorrow. What I tell you is, all right, it's either going to do this or it's going to do this, because it's got to do one of the two. And so when it proves to us which one it's doing, we just jump along for the ride. 5, 10, 15 minutes, but you got to wait for the opportunity. You can't jump the gun, and you can't delay when it's time. So, but enough of that. Back to cryptoportfoliobuilders.com. This is a long-term portfolio. You don't have to sit like a mother hen, hatching her eggs. You don't have to check this every 5 minutes, because the fluctuations intraday, the gyrations, are meaningless in the grand scheme of things. This is a long-term, the kind of portfolio that not only provides you, hopefully, with the money that you want to spend and give away, but that you leave behind. I may not have gotten to that. I believe this is an economy where generational wealth will be created. There was a time in our country where men bought railroad stocks, and pretty soon they were naming libraries after them, museums. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I think we're standing in front of. That's what's coming. That rumble you hear, that's the horde just warming up, getting ready. So we've told you just about everything that we can tell you. Let me go and check my inbox one more time. Okay. One more time. I only have 10 fingers, so give me a minute.
Ariel's got a question. I'm going to go ahead and answer that, Dwayne.
Are these fast trades or slower time frame? I'm not sure what you mean. It's a long-term portfolio, which means if we find a cryptocurrency that we feel you should be invested in for the long term, then you could be in it for months, years, until something, whatever caused us to get into that cryptocurrency, something fundamentally and technically, seriously technically, has to change before we pull out of it. Because if you prematurely pull out, then you lose the whole power of dollar cost averaging. So, a lot of research goes into picking the selections that go into the portfolio. A lot of research, okay? And so you're not going to see us yanking stuff willy-nilly. There has to be a reason. So once we're in, yes, you don't have to watch it every day, go look at it every 15 minutes. Chances are, or highly possible, probable, that, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 from now, you still own it. Unless you've moved it into something that we've found that's even more attractive. And that's what we, with a portfolio management services, we're guiding. Now, we're not brokers, and we're not telling you should buy this or you should sell that. What we're telling you is what we're doing. We're showing you what we buy, what we sell. If we're in the black, if we made money last week or last month, and I'm talking about realized gains because we cashed out, but you'll see the portfolio balance. It'll go up, it'll go down, it'll go up, it'll go down. And the whole plan is that it goes up more than it goes down. You follow what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah. So Ariel, this is investing. This is not trading. This is not trading. That's very different from what we're doing. We're building a portfolio of quality cryptocurrencies over time. So that's what I'm doing. We ready to roll, Dwayne?
We're getting ready to reveal the name of the winner. The person taking home 100 CTG tokens tonight.
We're going to wrap it up, guys. Any other questions?
let me count one more time. I want to be
Sure.
about this. Lori Inquist just picked up 100 CTG tokens.
All right.
You're very welcome. Now, as we wrap this up, if you've ever been to any kind of webinar, you always know at the end there's a deal, right? Right? Am I right? All right. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Here's your deal of the night. The first person to become a member from tonight's audience. Okay, now if you're listening to this on a recording, it's already over, it's done with, but this is just those of you that are here live, right here, right now. Today, if I didn't say it, is Saturday, May 19th, 2018, and it's 8:47. Okay, so much for the hour webinar. The first person who, now, Lori has won 100 CTG tokens. Now remember, the last trade went off at $4.85 a token. But that's no guarantee of future performance or any of that kind of stuff. You know the deal. The first person from tonight's live audience who becomes a CPB member will also receive 100 CTG tokens. But wait, there's more. The fifth person who becomes a Crypto Portfolio Builder member tonight, okay, I'm going to give you an hour after we sign off. The fifth person will receive 100 CTG tokens. The 10th person will also receive 100 CTG tokens. And the first person who signs up for the annual membership, 500 CTG tokens. Now, let's make sure everybody understands. The door prize went to Lori Inquist, 100 CTG tokens. The first person signing up as a CPB member tonight, 100 tokens. The fifth person, and it's going to be in chronological order. I'll be transparent with you guys, as always. You're going to get 100 tokens. The 10th person gets 100 tokens. And the first person who signs up for the annual membership gets 500. Sound fair to you, Scott?
Sounds very fair, more than fair.
Giving away the doggone store here, but I'm excited. I really am. I haven't felt this kind of energy in a while. And so, man, it's good to have it back. It really is, you know.
That's great.
Sometimes, you know, life can be really good, but I don't have to tell you guys, you're alive too. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Now, if you don't know how to reach us, do you live under? No, I'm kidding. Let me just give you the toll-free number. You can call anytime. 833-464. Got to scroll all the way to the bottom. I got to memorize this thing. 833-464-6393. 833-464-6393. If you catch voicemail, and you very well might, if you leave a message, one of us will get right back to you. 833-464-6393. Now, Lori, I will need you to send me your my Ether wallet address so that I can transfer your 100 tokens. And those who win the additional ones by becoming a CPB member, I will send you an email. I'll tell you, you were number 1, you were number 5, you were number 10, or you were the first to sign up for the annual. And I will need you, if you don't already have a digital wallet. It doesn't have to be my Ether wallet. That's the one I'm most familiar working with. But you do need to go get a digital wallet. so that I can transfer your tokens into your wallet. And then, of course, once I put them into your digital wallet, you can leave them there, or you can invest. Go to cryptodailyinfo.com, and up at the top, click on the NanoS drive, and you can pick it up from our website for, I think it's 99 bucks. It has 5 wallets in it. It'll handle Bitcoin. It'll handle Litecoin. It'll handle any Ethereum-based ERC20 token and something else. It's user-friendly, fairly priced, and you'll like it. So, are there any questions that have not been answered? Some of you may have asked a question as they scroll by. Sometimes we miss them. So we don't want anyone to go away with an unanswered question. So you don't have to type it. You don't have to type it again. Just copy and paste.
I think I answered most of them, Dwayne.
Well, good. All right. You're better than I am. All right. Raj, you did get a bonus. You got the $99 special, didn't you?
You got a huge bonus.
And we have a winner on the annual subscription. That one's easy to figure out. Ted, welcome to the family. Ted. I'm serious. Now, Ted, do you have a digital wallet? Maybe Ted already signed out.
Oh, so he's got one. Yep.
Oh, you know what, Ted? I think I might already have your wallet address. Would that be correct? Or maybe you have it. You do. Okay. Why don't you shoot me an email with your wallet address again, just to make sure that I've got it right, and I will transfer your tokens tonight. And welcome to the family. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions? Going once, going twice.
Ted's got email address?
Oh, yes. Please send it to dreeves@cfrn.net. dreeves, R-E-E-V-E-S, @cfrn.net. Shoot it over and I'll get that taken care of. Now, also, those who come in 1st, 5th, and 10th, I will email you tonight, because when you sign up, that gives me your email address. I will email you, ask you for your wallet address, and I will get your tokens transferred tonight as well. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to really go over the CPB site, go there, check it out. Any questions, call toll free. I'll be taking calls tonight because I've got a lot of work to do. Tomorrow's Sunday. I hope to take a couple hours off, spend with my family between church, after church, and before the Globex Open. Now, I've already put out, I rarely do this, but those of you that trade futures with us, tomorrow night on the Globex Open, if you go to twitter.com/CFRN, I've already outlined it. My suggestion is on the Globex Open, 6 p.m. Eastern, S&P 500 ES E-mini, consider selling 2706 to 2696. Okay, and that's a 10-point move at $50 per point. That's $500 per contract. If you're a 10-contract trader, if you've earned the right to trade 10 contracts, that's a $5,000 trade. No guarantees. Anything can happen. Always use a hard stop. Now, if you're one of my partners, one of my students, I have taught you how to read the chart so that you know where to put your hard stop. If you're not one of my students, if I haven't personally trained you in a one-on-one mentoring session, send an email to dreeves@cfrn.net. I will guide you through the open tomorrow night. I'll open a little meeting room, and anyone that has an interest will pop in there. We'll get through the open. Now, I go on to say that if this thing should gap lower on the open, and it's possible. In other words, if we open below 2706, which is our entry, don't chase it. I will issue another alert, because if it gaps lower, if it gaps below 2706, probably before Wall Street opens, it will close the gap, and then we'll still take a trade to the downside. In fact, it could be the identical trade. But because I don't prophesy, I live in an either-or world. We're either going to take this trade or we're going to take a different trade. If you don't know where to place your stop because I haven't trained you, then watch the blog at emini.cfrn.net, and I will put a link there. And this is going to be nothing formal. It'll be like 10 minutes. We'll watch the open together. And then I have so much work to do on Sunday nights, getting the weekly trading zones together and the concierge trade alerts. I'm usually not done until about 2 a.m. my time. And that is 5 a.m. on the East Coast. And the market opens my time at 6:30 a.m. So pray for me as I pray for you. Love you guys. You make my life rich. And I don't mean that in a monetary way. I just mean we've built quite a community, quite a family. And CPB is just an extension of all that we've done and become over the last 13 years. Actually, Christian Traders goes all the way back to 2001. So 18 years, 17. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. We love you. And this has been recorded, although I hate to say this, the first couple minutes might have got lost. I'm not sure yet, but I'm afraid it did. But the bulk of this webinar will be posted on the homepage at christianportfoliobuilders.com. I'll either see you tomorrow afternoon, I'll see you on the radio, or I'll see you around town.
Thank you, Lucy.
Remember, never make an investment decision without first checking with a licensed investment professional. Trading is risky. You could lose all of your money and then some. I say that not because the government makes me, but because I care. And I want you to know. Eyes wide open. I'm always here if you need counsel. Okay? And we're out.